before I go any further, I just realized that the agreement that I had with Mr. Chadwick Dunsbury on the creation of that robot was for strictly educational purposes. So in part 2, we will not create the robot. We're actually going to create it in part 1. So let's get started. Let's press spacebar so we can navigate back into our front view. Let's press spacebar again. And we are going to click on the word View, Image Plane, Import Image. And in our source images of our robot house rocket, right? This is your project folder. It's probably on the desktop. Okay. We are going to navigate into our source images and click on this robot revolve outline. Okay, so revolve robot body. Press open, and as you can see, it's pretty massive. We might want to do something cool with that, right? It'd be cool to have them like this. Okay, so let's move it over. I'll kind of move it away from the clouds, and let's press spacebar so we can zoom out and go into our perspective and just push this image plane back. Alright, so let's press spacebar back into our front view, and what we are going to do is simply replicate the number of blue dots that are in here. Those represent control vertex points. So let's click on the word create, polygon. No, let's actually go to the curve tool, EP curve tool. Click on it. Click here. So there's a tiny little dot. All right. Let's click there. Right there. And as you continue to click on each one of these little blue dots, you should notice that it's forming your curve. Now, with a little bit more practice, you can use, a variety of shapes to create different pieces of geometry with the EP curve. This is a really powerful tool. It can make really complex things look extremely difficult. So now we finished with that last click. Let's press enter on our keyboard. We'll press W, okay? And we want to hide this background picture for now. So let's go ahead and click on it, and then click on this little blue icon right here. It says create a new layer and assign selected objects. And again, this is found under your channel box editor. So right here, we'll go to layers, create layer from selected. See, it's the same little icon. So let's double click layer 1, rename it to robot BG. Click save. So it doesn't like the space between robot and BG. So let's delete the space between robot and BG. Save. And now we can close that background. So this is the shape that we have. Okay. And we want to move the move tool, the manipulator tool, right down the center. So let's go to modify, center pivot. We will hold D, and you can move these arrows to up and right, or you can click on this blue square and move that tiny little yellow dot in the center of the manipulator. So let's zoom in a little bit more. Try to take that little dot, that tiny little yellow square, and move it right on that line. Nice, 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 nice. Okay, now the moment we've all been waiting for. We'll click on the surfaces, revolve option box. Okay, let's make sure your settings look exactly like mine. Y-axis, segments, value of 8, polygons for the output geometry. The type will be quads. tessellation method will say general. The U type and the V type will say per span number of isoparms, and the number U and the number V will be a value of 3. So after you do that, click on the word revolve, and this is what we get. Now it's reversed, so we'll have to reverse it. So let's click on that geometry, go to the word mesh display in the middle of your screen, and reverse. Alright, fantastic. So this concludes working on the robot body. In the next section, we will start working on the robot's arm. So again, a few tools that we went over today. The revolve tool using an EP curve, as well as the reverse tool under mesh display reverse to get that geometry from reverse normals back to the way it should be. So like we do after every section, we're going to save this. Just go to File, Save Scene As, and since we've already kind of worked in like numerical value, numerical order with our numbering system, we're going to go back. Let's see here. The last thing that we did was the final render. So let's go 7A. So 7A underscore, and then call it robot body. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next tutorial.